comes to your downloaded assignments, that means you fetched the assignment. If you want to open the assignment, for example, I'm opening your coding lab 1. So I click on it, and then there's CL1, the name is tooling. I click on it and it opens a Jupyter Notebook now. So this for you is the Jupyter Notebook for your first coding lab. You just work through it as you'd go on, read about it, and then you can just go on. It's pretty explanatory, everything's given there. But just a brief explanation about it. So there are like cells in each Jupyter Notebook. These are called Markdown cells with text in them. They are written in Markdown syntax. That's why they're called Markdown cells. Now there are two types of cells: Markdown cells and coding cells, code cells. These are code cells where you actually type in code. All right. So now this, when you run this, in order to run any of the cell, you just press shift enter. When you do that, it runs the particular cell. When you do this, you don't get any output as such, because it's just a markdown. That is a textual cell. All right. Now, when you run a code cell, if there is some code in the code cell, it'll give you the output, whatever you're expecting. All right. Paul, there's a question. If you can.
Yeah, I'll cover it.
Yeah, all right, thank you. So now, in the code cells, by default, you'll find a not implemented error exception, all right? This is given in all the code cells wherever you're expected to write something on your own. So now, what you have to do is replace this raise not implemented error line with whatever code you want to write as an answer to whatever question we ask you, all right? This is always given so that if you are not able to answer the question, your code will still pass the tests that we have for you in the autograder. All right, that's the purpose of this not implemented error. We check for this in our tests in the backend, and then see if this is still there. That means you have not implemented your answer, and that's fine. All right. I see a question that they can't open the assignment. So if you go if you click on the assignments tab, you find 3 released assignments. And if you click on one of them, just fetch it, and then you can click on it and get it. If you still have problem, Paul, we can use breakout room and then guide them. They can share the screen.
Yeah, if you guys would like that, we can break into a room. I'll monitor the screen though.
Yeah, all right. All right. That's pretty much it for fetching and then working on your assignments or coding labs. Now you're supposed to submit your coding labs as well as assignments. Coding labs are not graded for correctness. You're supposed to submit them so that we know that you participated in the lab. And then in order to submit, you go back to your data hub, and in the under the assignments tab, there's this button called validate. If you click on this, this is going to check for all the test cases that we have for you as in the autograder, which will be a part of your assignments. And then once you've done that, passed all the tests, you can just submit it using the submit button. That's pretty much it for Data Hub.
Okay, that was pretty good. So I guess for now, since we have like 2 hours, you guys feel free to not stay if you guys already have started. Just a reminder though, so the lab is always due on on this day, but then on 11:59 p.m.
On Wednesdays, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, remember that time difference.
Yes. People might be in different places right now, but make sure to keep a track of the time.
Yeah.
Our Pacific time, yeah.
And then oh yeah, the time for the submittal, I remember in class, it's UTC, so make sure you guys know that it's gonna show some different time. Make sure it's according to your time, yeah. Or does it only say that I have to say?
All right. So now, Paul, do you want to do something? Do you want to explain something else?
Yeah, actually, I was gonna plan to answer some questions, like general questions, and then yeah, can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
How do I?
Okay. Do you want to actually you want to monitor the chat
Yes,
box?
yes,
Okay.
I will.
Okay. Okay. So now I'm gonna look at some of the questions that was prompted in class and also in Piazza. The first one is checking your version of Anaconda and Python. Uh, so typically, when you look at this, you would just go to the help here. I'll show you. So if you're in Jupyter Notebook, you go to help and then you go to about, and you'll see here your version of Python. This is 3.6 on the Jupyter Notebook. But then if you go to Anaconda, since you downloaded it as 3.7, you're going to see that. So that was asked in class. And then there was another question on if you have another reader or like PyCharm, will this affect if you download Anaconda? It shouldn't, because in the process of downloading Anaconda, it's gonna ask you, and there's two options for it. So make sure you read carefully. That if you have another reader, then you would just click that, and it shouldn't affect your system. And then there was another question on how to. I think that was already covered in class, but the slides in class, it's already posted. Like if you want to access that in Jupyter Notebook, just go to the canvas, and then it should be the third link, and then just copy and paste that hyperlink into your Jupyter Notebook. So now I'm gonna. You guys can just tune me out, but if you guys want to start, but I'm just gonna show you guys some tools that will help you on doing your assignment one. And I guess the coding lab, we pretty much covered it. That was it. There's 3 parts. But if you guys have any other questions, just let us know. But right now, I'm just gonna do some tips and tricks on the code cells, Markdown, and if else statements. Okay, so just a few things. So when you're looking at Jupyter Notebooks, uh, what you'll see is there's two different colors. So of the cell. So this, when it's blue, it shows that it's a command window, and when you're editing something, it's gonna turn into green. That's pretty basic. But if you're gonna run something, this is already covered in class. But if you were to run something like this, and then you would like to not continue to hover here, you could just press Shift Enter, and that's one shortcut. And another shortcut for this is, so you know how you could hover here and then change this into a markdown or a code. Oh, not good. Hold up. Another way that you can change it is if you just press Y, it changes it to a code. And if you press M, it changes it to a markdown. And if you would like to know some of these other shortcuts, just go to Help, and then there's keyboard shortcuts. Right. Well, if you're doing this for a while already, it's easier. I mean, in the beginning, it's better to just use your mouse key and then click the GUI. But if you like to be a more efficient coder, it's better to learn some of these shortcuts. Okay, so I guess what the one thing I want to, oh yeah, then the other thing, if you want to know how to look up some other things besides this, you could actually, if you guys press Control, Shift, and P, this is a nifty way of, like, if you wanted to implement some, like for example, I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but if you wanted to change your cell to like heading 1 instead of like typing it, you could actually just click one of these and it'll do it for you. So that's Control Shift and P. And okay, now I'm going to first cover code cells. I think the professor is probably going to cover this on Friday, but there are some there are some questions already on the assignment 1 that cover this. So I'm just gonna go over a few of these. So if you're gonna assign some variables like a string, there's a string, you can do a variable, but if you're gonna do a string, so you define the variable first, and you could either put them in like a double quote or a single quote. Oh, hold up, that wasn't it. There you go. So either way, you can do a double quote or a single quote. And let's see. Oh, and another thing is changing cases. So like either you want to do uppercase, lowercase. Like for example, this. So if you want to like have all the letters show up as all capital, you could actually just use print and the variable that you define, and then say upper. So it changes it into all capitals. Hold on.
Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
A few of them have a question about how to italicize it or bold or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you demo it, I
okay.
cannot answer.
No worries. So the way you would do that, so there's a few ways. So let's start with bold. So you do markdown. So this is a markdown. And if you want to bold it, you do 2 underscores on both sides of the word or the string. Or another way you could do it is 2 asterisks. It's similar. And if you you could actually, this is the longer way, but you could do this too. So yeah, so this one is just you put these bracket, there's less than or greater, and then you put b. But the easiest way is if you do these 2 underscores or the asterisk. And then if you want to italicize them, what you do is just 1 underscore. Make sure you're on Markdown. And similarly, 1 asterisk. And then the longer way is the I. And then this was so in Python or Jupyter Notebook, you can actually like nest these functions or commands. So if you wanted to combine like the italicize and the bold, you could do it. So 2 was bold and 1 was italicized, right? So you do both. So that's 3 underscores. So that's bold and italicized. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, and there's also there's the I guess we'll cover integers. The different ways that you can use numbers in Python is so. For example, if you wanted to print like addition or subtraction, you could do this. This is pretty simple, but so you just put that in there and then like that. But there's a couple more that you can do though. So that's subtraction, multiplication, and there's division. And then these are ones that's not very intuitive, but you can actually do a squared. So when you do squared, you just put 2 asterisks. That this is 2 squared, so it should be 4. Oh, yeah. So for lists, you could do it this way. So if you're doing it on Markdown, the order doesn't matter. So when you're doing like apple like this, right, or cherry and then mango, what ends up happening is so what I did there is like so when you put this as one, the the Python is gonna iterate that and order that the way it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3. There's a longer way of doing this, but this is the simplest way. And there's also another one for numbers. So if you wanted to do like the remainder, you would just do this is not that intuitive. So if you want to find the remainder, if you do 5 divided by 2, it would be 5 percentage and then 2, and it's gonna give you 1. And then let's see. Okay, now I'm gonna cover that. That was just all code cells. Now I'm gonna cover Markdown cells. So we covered this in class, but I'm just gonna show you another way of doing it. But if you're gonna do like headers, like this will come very handy when you're doing your project. And that's one of the great tools of using like Python or Jupyter Notebook, because you can actually do your report and then add in pictures. You can add in the math and then the calculations all in one. Oh, okay. Okay. So five percentage two. That's just the remainder. Like 5 divided by
Yeah.
2.
Thanks
Yeah.
for answering that. Yeah.
And then for the bulleted. Oh, sorry. Let me see. I think it's this one. So when you do a hyphen and then you just do this, that would be how you do bullets. Okay. So for headers, so if the more hashtags you put, the smaller it is. But I think hold on, that wasn't. Actually goes up to 6. That's what I remember. Yeah, so 6 of these is like the smallest one. But if you do like just for one hashtag, it's the biggest one. So you can play around with it as much as you want with bullets and then headings. Let's see. Another really nice way is how do you change the font? So if you guys are gonna experiment with the font and then the color, let me cover that first. But so if you have a word, and you could probably look for this, but uh, it's just type. You just have to type this. It's pretty much the syntax for changing the font. So yeah, so what you saw there. So this is the code for it, and then this is your text that's going to show up. But the font is right here. So if you put like Times New Roman, it's going to change it. Or what's another font? Arial. And then if you want to change the color, this would be the one. So for this, you just change this guy, and then you have this as your text. Another cool trick is like I think you saw this in the professor's notebook, but how do you add in like hyperlinks? So what you can do in a markup or markdown cell is you could add in like any link you want. So here's for example. So what you do first is you put these two brackets, square brackets, and then what's gonna show here is what you're gonna click, and then you put two parentheses, uh, and then what you put in here is what is the hyperlink. So for example, if you're gonna go to like Wikipedia or whatever it may be. Let me see if this actually works. So you click on this, and then so that's the hyperlink. So you pretty much just put in like those two square brackets and then the parentheses. You could actually you could do the same thing, but if you guys you could look for that. It's a way to place images on your notebook. Okay, so that's just a few tricks. Let me see. I think the last thing I'm gonna do is this is gonna be on your assignment one, but if else and else if statements and inequalities. Okay, so Oh, question 7. Okay. Yeah, Luke, I'm gonna help you out in a little bit. Let me just finish this last bit. So assignment 1 is due on, I think it's April 13, right? Okay, so this other question, assignment 1, question 7. I do have that here. Let me see. Question 7.
Yes, the labs are due on Wednesdays, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
I have coffee.
You have coffee? Which one?
What do you mean it's not running? So when you run raise not implemented error, nothing should happen. You should not be getting any
Mail.
Oh, yeah.
No.
That one, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's what was it called? For this, when you're running your codes, you should delete this first part, and then this one should also be deleted. It's not supposed to show up. And then when you run it, make sure you go to kernel and then restart and run all. Okay, Vicky, let me see what you have. After, let me look at Luke first. Actually, Ashleisha, do you want to help Vicky out, and I'll help Luke.
You're done, or you will eat all of them.
But create a breakout room because I joined in late or whatever.
Okay.
That's why I'm not able to like have them share the screen.
So what was that? What was that?
So I'm not able to like have them see their screen.
So I'm gonna stop first. Okay.
No, only you can still do that because I can't create breakout rooms right now.
Okay. Oh, then.
Okay, I'll take all other questions which do not need screen sharing, and then you can do the screen sharing part. All right.
Let's see. What is this? And the labs are due on Wednesday. Yeah. What was the other question? We don't usually record the labs. Just in case you guys do need it, I can share that with you. Just email me. We don't usually record it though.
So there's a question about where they can find the lab. So you can find the lab under the assignments tab in Data Hub. So when you log into Data Hub, you see assignments tab, click on the assignments tab, and then you'll find the released assignments there. All the labs and assignments you can find there.
Yeah. So there's a lot of questions on this not implemented error. What you guys have to do. So actually, you have to delete that, right?
Yeah. So you need to replace it. So instead of raise not implemented error, delete that whole thing and write your code.
Exactly. Yeah. So you delete the comment and then you delete the raise command and then you write your whole thing in there. Try that and then let us know if you still have an error. Okay, let me see.
And there's another question about the labs being recorded and uploaded. The labs are being recorded. And now since this is the first week, we are hoping everything will go as planned and you will have access to these labs on Canvas as lectures. But let's see how it goes.
Okay, that's good then. Okay, there was a question on number 7. That was what I was actually looking at. Do you still have that problem, or is that the same question as the error, Victoria?
No, not sure.
No stop. You just use the tab.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna do the breakout room now.
Yeah.
If you guys have other questions, just ask away.
I'm here to answer. Yeah.
Okay. So Luke. Oh, okay, Luke. I'm gonna assign you. Okay.
All right, sounds good. All right, so my one question was, I have very little experience with Python. I just did data hacks back in February, and when I installed Anaconda then,
Okay.
Jupyter Notebook looked exactly like it does with what we're using in Data Hub. But when I
Okay.
went back and ran it on Anaconda now, it looks
Mm.
like completely different. They must have overhauled it or something.
Oh, really? Actually, I don't track that as much as other people do. But is the difference? Is it gonna affect like what you're doing in class or?
Not necessarily, but here, do you want me to show you quick or?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Be here. All right, is it sharing?
Yeah, I see your screen. Go ahead.
So
Yeah.
this is obviously what the old one's gonna be like, and if I ran a, oh, this is the same thing. If I ran a Jupyter Notebook on it,
Yeah.
I have my lab on my other computer, so I'm gonna just hit this.
Okay.
Like this is what I'm used to, and this is what we're working with, so it should be fine. The problem is like if I wanted to save this stuff, because in my other computer I can't get back to like, it's awkward to get back to the save thing. This
Okay.
is what new Jupyter looks like. If you launch Jupyter from
Yeah.
Anaconda,
Yep.
it's got everything on the side, and then but like if you went through documents, so my old saved thing was in my documents.
Okay.
I guess there's stuff here for this computer, but the folder that I basically had wasn't there. So oops. I think I figured it out. I think what I had to do was open from path and then just copy and paste the path in there.
Okay.
But it's
Yeah.
still
So for when you're gonna be working on like I guess Anaconda,
yeah.
you could use either one. I'm actually I only showed what we did because like you guys will be using it for like the project for sure. You're gonna be doing it on Anaconda, and then I guess you probably have to upload it in somewhere. But if you have, so you are doing your assignments on Data Hub, right?
Yes.
Okay. But then for your question here, yeah, as long as are you able to get a notebook working? Like right now, I'm just seeing, like what you have.
Yeah, I can get a notebook working, and like you could just
Okay,
click
there you go.
notebook. I was just wondering if you knew a way to revert it. I didn't realize that you hadn't worked with this in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll look into it. What version is this? Like right now?
This says so. Oh, is this it?
Let's try it. Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
I didn't
Yeah,
even
yes.
see that was a thing.
So
I
you found
even
it.
went into help. So this is 1.2.6, and then
Oh wait, hold up. Was that Jupyter Lab? That was Jupyter Lab?
is this Jupyter Lab?
Yeah, try go back to the help, and then I just saw something like if you go to help and then just about, I guess. They're very,
Oh, is it because I clicked Jupyter Lab?
yeah. Did you just install? So you followed the installation right on Jupyter installation or
Yeah.
the
Or, well,
Anaconda? Yeah.
no, I didn't install through Jupyter. I just installed, yeah, I clicked Jupyter Lab. That was the problem.
Yeah, they shouldn't. Yeah,
Click.
that's why it looks different. But it shouldn't be an issue. Either way, you could use either one. It will still you still use Python. But what we showed was just it's a notebook. But you could definitely use Jupyter Lab as well.
Okay. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
I
Was
appreciate it.
no, I'm glad we went through this. Yeah, if you have other questions, let me know. Did you already start on any of the? I mean, I guess the assignment.
Yeah, not the assignment. I'm about halfway through the lab.
Okay.
I've done like 5 hours of Code Academy and a
Oh,
tiny bit
nice.
of coding. So like the first assignment, did you say the most difficult thing we get to is assigning if-then statements?
Yeah, but you worked with you said you went through another program, but it should be very similar. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, like, have you used other languages before besides
No.
Python?
No. Wait,
Okay.
MATLAB,
Yeah,
technically.
actually,
Okay.
yeah, I'm more of a MATLAB guy too. But with MATLAB, it's so much more easier. The thing is, so you do know how to do if-else statements because it's pretty much the same way across the board.
Yeah.
It's just the way you would run it. Like like you type it when you type it. That's the way. In in Jupyter Notebook, there's this extra colons you have to put in.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll figure it out. Like,
Yeah, it's if you have questions, let me know. You can email me. But the actual assignment, there's prompts in there that the professor gave. Just follow it. It's very easy. But if there's any errors, just let me know.
okay, sounds good. I
All right, man.
appreciate it.
Okay, Ashisha,
Yeah.
questions? I just finished.
All right.
All right. Okay.
There's no new question as of now. I've answered all the questions that they had. I think they're all either working or they've left. I don't know.
Okay. I guess we'll stay here until the last person leaves. But if there's any other questions, just let us know.
Yeah. You can also unmute and ask the question yourself if you don't want to type, whatever.
What I know Paul hasn't been working with it for a while. Do you do Python stuff commonly, Ashleisha?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
What terminal do you usually use? I doubt you use Jupyter Notebook for when
I
you're coding normally.
Yeah, I do use.
Oh, really? Okay.
So yeah, I usually SSH into some server to get a better CPU and GPU, but ultimately for terminal I do use Jupyter.
Oh, okay.
I've used Spider as well sometime, but I feel for me Jupyter is more easier because it's just that I've been working with Jupyter a lot. So notebooks are definitely easier for me.
Okay, they are kind of obvious. I just wasn't, or not obvious, but like they're nicely set up.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if there are advantages of using other ones. I've seen Spider. I didn't really like that. I have VS Code for one of my computers, but I can't download it on the new navigator. I can't seem to find it. So I was just curious.
I used VS Code as by itself. I did not like use it in Anaconda, or if that's possible. I used VS Python in VS Code, but I did not like it that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm good then. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah. We had a question about submitting. So I just remember that we needed to tell you that when you submit, we only have access to your last submitted notebook. All right. So if you're making changes, make sure you make all the changes you want and then finally submit one notebook. And also do not submit after the deadline, because if we do, and if we see your last submitted, then we'll see the one that is submitted after the deadline, and then you'll be marked late. That's it.
And yeah, just click submit. That's it.
Yeah.
Did you, so is that an error, or did you delete that in the code?
So Ray's non-implemented error is just there so she can type that enter your code here without any errors, right? The whole text thing has to get deleted. And then
Yeah.
x equals 3. I think that's what they're not doing.
Okay. So
the raise not implemented error thing, it's not supposed to run as such. I mean, it's not supposed to show you anything. So you need to delete the entire thing and then type x equals 3.
Exactly.
All right.
One quick question I have as well is, since we're fetching these from Data Hub, they're not actually being downloaded to our computer, right? Or are they?
No, so you can download them. So when you open the notebook, go to File and then Download As or Save As, and then you can see how you want to download it as a notebook or Python file. Yeah, there's a Download As option. You can use that.
Okay. I see. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. No, so attendance is not mandatory this quarter because of everything being virtual. But you just need to like submit your coding labs instead of attendance so that we know that you've like done something about the coding lab assignments. That's it. Attendance is not recorded as such. Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah.
What time is assignment 1 due? Does she have a due date on it? Oh, you're muted.
I'll look at it. I think it's in Piazza though.
Oh, okay.
It's the same time. It's like before midnight, 11:59 p.m. on April 13th.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so Brandon, so you download Anaconda. You don't have to use it for the Jupyter Notebook. You'll use Data Hub for that. But what you have to do is you're gonna use that for your project later on.
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead. I think you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So for the labs, they're on Jupyter, right? The Jupyter Notebook.
Mhm.
For the first lab, is it the 3 links that are there, or is it just one of them?
So the CL1 is the coding lab 1. That's
Okay.
the lab. Yeah. The other one is the assignment and the practice. You'll see that when you do the lab. So just do CL1 to start.
Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so it's almost 5. I'm just gonna show you guys our email. Okay, so if you guys have other questions, you can email us, or we have our upcoming office hours here.
And also Piazza.
And yeah, please check your Piazza.
So if you have specific questions about the coding lab or assignments for that matter, you can post a private post to the instructors on Piazza where you can share your code if you want. Do not make it a public post if that's the case, or you can always email us. But a good idea would be to post on Piazza because then you'd be able to reach out to all the instructors. You're welcome.
Thank you guys. See you on Friday.
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Um,
That's a good question. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I guess we can start on the next one. All right, guys. So welcome to COGS 18 Coding Lab 1. Hope you guys are excited. This is your first lab. It's not that hard and long, but we'll still cover a few things here today. So there's gonna be 2 TAs for these labs. I'm Paul, and the next one, Ashlisha, go ahead.
yeah, I'm Ashlesha. Let's both of us give a very brief introduction about ourselves, and then we can continue. I'm a master's second year student in computer science, and this is my first time TAing for this course, but I have been doing Python a lot, so I'm excited to be your TA, and I hope you're all excited too. Paul?
All right, thank you, Ashlisha. So my background is more on engineering, but I've done a lot of Python and Jupyter Notebooks. So if you have other questions about applying it, that's me. And so what we have here is our emails. You can ask us anytime, as well as during our office hours. And then also Piazza, that's mainly where you guys would ask questions and posts. So for the lab today, I'm gonna first show you how to download the software you'll need. And then we're gonna show you some Python tools, and Ashisha's gonna show you how to work with DataHub. And then afterwards, I'll give you some FAQs and tips and tricks on the assignment as well as the first lab, which is relatively quick. So first, how do you download Anaconda? So in this website, this just click on. Oh, hold up. So the first thing you do is you go to this website, and then you click download. And then what the professor wanted to do is download the 3.7 version. So you download this, and what you're gonna see is, since I already have it, is after you install it, is you're gonna have this command prompt at the bottom of the screen, and then what you're gonna type here, it's not gonna show you the same thing yet, but what you're gonna type here is this, and I'm gonna show you where you guys get that. But if you go to jupyter.org install, you can go to, it says here, installing Jupyter Notebook using Conda. This is where I got that from. So when you do that, enter, it'll install it. And then if you want to access Jupyter Notebook offline, you click that command prompt again and then type Jupyter Notebook. So this is what you'll see after you install it, and you just type it. And then so for that, Ashisha, you want to cover the data hub?
Yeah, sure. Can I share my screen, Paul? Okay, thank you. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So when you log into DataHub, you can, the first thing that you see are the files that you have. If you have none, you're not going to see anything here. The first thing that you need to do is go to the assignments tab, click the assignments tab, and then here for you guys, if you've not fetched anything as of now, you'll see 3 released assignments. One is the lab, the assignment, and a practice thing that you'll know about. And then you click on any one of this, and then there'll be a button called fetch on the side. You click on fetch, and then that'll come into your downloaded assignment. So that means that you've downloaded that assignment to work on. Now, if you want to open the notebook, you click on it and then click on, for example, right now, I'm going to open the Coding Lab 1 for you. So you'll click on CL1 tooling. This will open a Jupyter Notebook for you. This is a Jupyter Notebook. Now, inside the Jupyter Notebook, let's talk about a few basic things about it, and then Paul will continue as well. There are two types of cells, first of all, a Markdown cell and a code cell. Now, these cells which have text in it are called Markdown cells because they are written in Markdown syntax. And then this, when I go down, is a code cell where you actually write your code, all right? Now, in terms of when you write your code, there's this thing which you'll see in everywhere called raise not implemented error. Now, you're supposed to delete this line completely and replace this line with whatever code you want to write, all right? Do not run your notebook along with this and your code. That's not going to run. So delete this completely, replace it with your code, distributing again, all right? Now, that's about code blocks. In order to run a code block, you need to do shift and shift enter. So when you press shift enter, it runs a code block or any Markdown cell for that matter, all right? If you have any questions, you can just ask in the chat box or unmute yourself and then ask if you want. Apart from this, for submitting your notebook, you go to Data Hub. Then there's an option on the side called Validate and Submit. So Validate will check your notebook for all the test cases we have for you. Validate, and then if it passes all the test cases, it's going to show you a success message. And then for submitting it, just click on submit, and that's all, it's submitted. So make sure you submit all your coding labs on or before Wednesdays, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, all right? Just make sure you keep track of the time since you might be don't know where. So make sure you keep a track of the time. And you need to submit coding labs and assignments as well. Assignments for sure, but coding labs as well. Don't forget to submit that. And one more thing, submit your coding. We only have access to the last coding lab that you submit. So if you submit a coding lab or assignment after your deadline, you'll be marked late because we'll see only the last one that you've submitted. So make sure you make all the edits that you want to in your notebook and then submit it finally before the deadline if you don't want it to be marked late. All right. That's pretty much it for Data Hub. Paul, you can carry on now.
All right, thank you, Ashlisha. Okay, so just ask away. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you guys some tips and tricks on Jupyter Notebook. I've already done this on the previous, but I'll show you guys here. But before that, hold up. Before that, there were some FAQs during class today. Just wanted to show you and answer those. So the first one was, how do you check your version of Anaconda or Jupyter Notebook? For the Jupyter Notebook, for both of them, just click Help and then go here. And so for the one in Data Hub, it's 3.6. But if you download the 3.7 and then do the same thing, it'll be 3.7, obviously. And then another thing is some of you guys have used Python before. You've used a different reader. So PyCharm is one I use. And then a question came up where, does it affect if you download Anaconda? Well, it shouldn't. I didn't really cover it, but once you download Anaconda and follow the installation prompts, it will specify, so read carefully, that if you have another reader, such as PyCharm, make sure you click that and not the other one. And so with that, it shouldn't affect it at all. Another thing is, so that question about updating your slides every time for class and accessing the slides in Jupyter Notebook, the link from the link from Canvas, just copy that into your Jupyter Notebook here, and then you should be able to access those slides. And so now I'm gonna just go over kind of similarly to what Ashisha did, but just giving you guys some tricks on mostly what you'll do on your assignment 1. Pretty much your code lab 1 is done if you followed what we said. But oh yeah, earlier. So if you did most of the coding is in part 1. Part 2 and part 3 are just downloading and then following through with Data Hub. So if you've done that, just submit it, and that should be good. Oh yeah, just to inform you guys when things are due. The coding lab 1 is due tonight at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, and then assignment 1 is not due until April 13th, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. And so okay, so now first thing is I'm gonna cover some shortcuts.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Are we supposed to have access to what you're looking at right now? Because I can't find that anywhere.
Oh no.
No? Okay.
Tips and tricks? No, he's just.
Oh yeah. This is just what I'm gonna show you guys. You don't have to do this. These are just tips on as you do your assignments.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Okay, so you don't have to listen to me. You can continue doing your work or tune me out. But if you have questions, just pop them in the chat box. Anyway, so when you're working with Jupyter Notebook, some shortcuts that will be helpful is if you press like Y. Let me delete these first. Okay. So if you press Y, the same way as so we've been working with two types of cells, right? Code cells and then Markdown cells. And then this hovering may take some time. So if you want to learn how to easily just change it to a code cell or Markdown cell, is so you press Escape first, and then so since this is a code cell and you want to convert it to a Markdown cell, you press M. And then you press, and if you want to convert it back, you press Y to code. And then another thing is undoing. So let me see if this actually works. So yes, Z is undo, but it's gonna undo what you did prior, not yeah. And then so where you can find these shortcuts is here. You go to Help and Keyboard Shortcuts. Very helpful. As of now, just use your mouse though.
Sorry, just a second.
Go ahead.
Just to clarify, assignment is not due today, but the lab is. So the lab's due tonight at 11:59 p.m. But the assignment's due on April the 13th. All right. Just carry on, Paul.
Okay. All right. So yeah, the one other way, if you guys would like to find other shortcuts, is if you do Control Shift and P in your keyboard. This is a very easy way to find and then implement. Like for example, which I'm going to show you later, is if you were to put in a pre-entered code, it'll just put in the hashtags, or you could just type it, whichever one is faster. And so that's one good way. Another, so that was just a brief overview. So now I'm going to talk about some tips on code cells. All right. So this wasn't really covered all the way in class today, but the professor is going to cover it pretty much on Friday about strings, variables, and then some of the integers, if-else statements. So when you're working with strings, what you can do is you could actually use either a quotation mark or just an apostrophe. So one way to do that is, so you have a variable here, and then type in like this is so this is one way of doing it, and then you need to print it. And then another way is putting apostrophe. So it's the same way. So it's the same thing. And then before I do some other things, let me show you, because this came up earlier. But if you wanted to do like a bold or italicize or bold italicize, you can do this in either one, but I'll show you in the Markdown cell. One way you could do this is doing underscores. So one underscore and whatever text you have, and another underscore is going to give you italicized font. Another way you could do that is with an asterisk. So make sure you have this in between the text that you have in between the symbols. And another way, which is a longer way, is doing this. And then for bold, so remember, you use one underscore for italicized. So for bold, you use 2. And similarly with under asterisk. And if you want to use the longer way, and then so in Jupyter Notebook or Python, one of the nice ways of doing it is you can actually combine and nest your commands. So since what we just mentioned is so you have italicized as 1 underscore, right? And so then you have 2 as the bold. So that should give you bold and italicized. All right. And then so let's see. Oh yeah, on your assignment 1, you're gonna. I think there's a question on concatenation. So this is how you combine strings. So I'll just show you this first. And so what this means is if you have like 2 string variables. So you just define. Oh wait, hold up. So you have to remember. So that was a markdown.
Quick question. Are you explaining what will be on the practice right now?
This is mostly on assignment 1, and then there's like there's probably part 1 of coding lab 1.
Okay. And that's for April 13th, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so when you do concatenation, so you define 2 strings. So that's what I did there. And then what you would do is, so for like a full name, you would just add them, and then make sure you add a space in between. Oh wait, hold on. No. So like this. So yeah, that's how you do it. And okay, now I'm gonna move on to numbers. So there's some basic ones, and there's ones that's not too intuitive. So mainly when you add 2 numbers, you have the print sign, and then you add them like this, like very intuitive. And then subtraction. Okay, and then you can even do multiplication, and then division. But if you wanted to find like the remainder, so if you divide like 5 divided by 2, it gives you this, but it's a decimal. If you want to find the remainder, you put a percentage and then 2 in between, and this should give you 1. And then another one that there's a ton of these if you wanted to look for them. But another one is, how do you square something? It would be 2 asterisks and that. And Also, another thing is you've seen this in your lab, in the notebook labs, and you'll see it in the assignment. But when you want to add like a comment, this time you probably don't need to do a lot of these. But later on, if someone were to look at your notebook, it's easier to document what you did. So what you would do is just add in a hashtag, and it's in a code cell, and then just type in whatever it is. And when you run it, it's not going to run that. Okay, so that's enough for the code cells. We're going to move on to Markdown cells. All right. So let me actually show you guys that shortcut. So when you do Control-Shift-P, and then if you wanted to, instead of inputting a hashtag, you can just do this, change cell, because they go up to 1 to 6. You could do that and then type in whatever you want here instead of typing the hashtags.
Wait,
And
can you explain that one more time, please?
okay.
Thanks.
So when you're doing like headings, which is really great for Jupyter Notebooks, you'll do this in your project. What you could do for words, and if you want to change the file, I'll talk about that later on, but then just for headings, you could put in hashtags. And the less you have, the bigger the font. And the more you have, the lesser, the smaller the font. But that's how you would do it if you just do it manually. And another way would be Control-Shift-P, and this is just a shortcut for not only this but in other things. So if you were to do the same thing here, so that was for, and just that. Oh yeah, and then bullets. So for bullets, what you would do is you just put a hyphen or a dash, and then type in whatever you have. So for example, this, and then so it automatically turns into a bullet. And then if you were to do a list, you would just, so the order doesn't matter. Like for example, if you were to do 1, 2, 3, and then whatever you put here, it'll recognize that you're doing a list. And then when you run that, it'll change those as if it was a numerical session, like a bullet, but then it's numerics.
Will it do the same thing with letters too? If you do like AAA, will it change it to ABC?
Let's see. No, actually, do you know if it does that?
No, I'm not sure. Can you try with capital A?
Okay, let me see.
Doesn't look like it'll do it because
It didn't do it, yeah. We can look that up. I don't think that's gonna, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I was just curious. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Anyways,
there's a question about can it do Roman numerals? I'm not sure about that either.
nah, yeah, I can look that up.
Yeah.
The one I know that you'll do is the numbers and the bullets. But yeah, that will be very helpful, yeah, for your project. Oh yeah, another thing is you could actually add, and you've seen this in the professor's notebook, is you could add links, like a hyperlink. So this is how you would do it. You have square brackets and then parentheses. what you have in the square bracket is what's going to show up, and then what you have in the parentheses is where you're going to go. So let's see if this works. Okay, so it does. All right, and then you can also do pictures, which will be very helpful. You can even do graphs, but that's for a later time. All right, I was gonna cover if-else statements, but do you guys have other questions?
I wanted to ask, when do we use code versus Markdown? Is that something we need to know?
I can take that.
Go ahead.
So you use Markdown when you want to, when you prepare your notebooks, when you want to describe something. It's just text, right? So when you want to give a description about something, you write it, not using code, but using Markdown. And when you want to do actual code, then you do code cells.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. It doesn't look like there's other questions. So I'm just gonna cover it briefly. This is an assignment 1, but if you're gonna do like true Boolean statements like inequalities, it's really simple. So if you were gonna compare 2 variables.
Paul, there's a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Show to where to find the link to access Jupyter Notebook through Anaconda. You showed that, right? Can you just give them that, okay?
Yeah. So Jupyter Notebook through Anaconda, the link.
Mm-hmm.
So here, yeah.
Copy paste this maybe in the chat.
Hold on. Let me
I
start
think
showing first.
also on the coding lab.
Come again?
I think it's on the coding lab under part 3. There's like a hyperlink for it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you can find every link in Canvas. Yeah, so just look over there, and that should show you the Jupyter Notebook from Coding Lab. You showed that already, right? Or
Yeah. They just want the link. So if you want to find the link, just read through the Coding Lab. In the part 3, you're going to find the exact hyperlink for that.
cool.
Yeah, carry on, Paul.
All right, so I'm gonna show you guys the inequalities and then also if-else statements. And so when you do compare 2 values, this is where you usually use for if-else statements. You use 2 equal signs or whatever. This is one of them, and then this is gonna output true or false, right? And then when you do 2, so that's true, right? And then another one, if you're gonna do not equal, you put an exclamation point and then an equal sign. That's true. And this is false. And then this is not only for numbers. You could actually compare 2 strings. Another way would be this. So that's true. Okay. And then other ones are if it's greater than or equal to. Anyways, so that's how you would do that. And then now I'm going to show you guys how to do if-else statements. This might be something not familiar to you guys, but what you would do is, this is a great way in comparing things in a list. So for example, this is one. In the lab, in your assignment 1, it's going to be simpler than this. So it'll tell you exactly what you have to define. Okay, so if you define this is a list, and then now we want to check if there's something in, we want to evaluate what's in the list. So one way you could do that is if. So this is just another command. So what I have is a list of dogs that's 4 items. So that should, the length of this should be 4. But you want to check if it's greater than 3, right? And then in lab, it's mostly you're going to compare something on numbers, and then it'll output another. So what you have after the if statement, or you want to remember, if you're doing an if else and else if, is, so you have the if and then the condition, and then you put in a colon. I'll show you guys the else and else if after. So you could just run this now. So what happened here is, so this if statement check what the length of this vector, which is 4, and then it's greater than 3. So it'll come in here when this is true, and then so you'll print, or it'll conduct this command if this is true. So you have this, and then so now I'll show you guys if this isn't true. If it's false, then it'll run whatever is an else. So we'll use the same example. But then let's add in an else. So always remember, so after the if, else, and else if, make sure you don't forget the colon sign. All right. So before I run this, I'll just tell you what it's going to do. So in the if condition, which is the length of this is greater than 3, if this is true, then it'll run whatever you have after that. And if it's false, then it'll go to else, and it'll run whatever you have next. So right now, we know it's going to run the first one, but if we take out, let's see, if we take out the first 2, or like then run it, then it's not greater than 3 anymore. It's 2, so it's false, and it'll run this. Like I said, in your assignment 1, it's going to be simpler than this.
Paul, there's a question about how to use Anaconda offline. So you showed the command prompt thing. So to answer your question, it's just basically the same. He can just show you how to open the thing again. So if you can go to your command prompt and then show them how to open the notebook again.
Okay. So what that is I did show this. So after you download Anaconda, as we've shown you, you'll have this command prompt, and then just type in Jupyter Notebook, and then enter, and then it'll open up the notebook, and then find the file, or open up another file, and then you can work from there. But you won't be using this until your project. Jupyter Notebook is embedded in your data hub. Okay.
So since we're not using that yet, as long as we just download Anaconda, we're good. We don't have to connect it to Jupyter Notebooks yet.
Yeah, just for now, do all your assignments and coding lab in data hub.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, just a clarification. You don't really connect it to the notebooks. The notebooks are part of Anaconda, so you can run notebooks through Anaconda, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything else.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Paul.
Yep.
So what you're explaining here, is that similar to like the value comparisons in assignment 1?
Yeah, but in assignment 1, it's gonna tell you exactly what you have to do, like what you're gonna compare. Just here, I'll show you guys actually. So this is assignment 1, and so once you get to that point right here, if you follow what it says, like it tells you what variable to define, and then what string to put within the if and else. That's it, yeah. And then that's pretty much what you're gonna do throughout these. Okay. Okay, so this is like one last thing. So the else if, so if you do if and else, I mean, for the most part that will cover it, but what if you had a condition where you had a second true condition? So that's when you have to put in the else if, and then the else would just be everything else. So here's one example. Okay, so for this one, so you define the same array, dogs, and then in here you had like 6 different items, and then so what I added was this else if, which was what we had before, but then now I just expanded this. So I added that you could switch these two, but what I put here was if this is greater than or equal to 5. So since it is, this is true, and it runs the print, and you get this string. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you
text colors, just a second. To clarify, there's the question about text colors that you're seeing. So the text colors that you're seeing are automatic. He's not doing anything. It's because these are code cells, right? So Python compiler reads different text differently. A string in red color, right, like that. So it's automatic, and he's not doing anything about it. To answer the question.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, if you guys have other like specific questions, we can do breakout rooms, but just let me know or let us know.
So attendance is not a compulsion here, attending these labs, because you guys are in different places or we don't know where you are. So attending this is not compulsory, but submitting the lab is. So participation is based on completing your labs and not attending these sessions. You're welcome.
Hey guys, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I already started on the assignment because I thought it was for some reason I thought it was due today. So I already attempted on some of the assignment. Do you guys recommend that I should wait until Friday since like we're going more into the material?
So you can submit multiple times, you can submit it now, and then if you find some other information that might be useful for you, you can just resubmit it again. You can submit as many times as you want before the deadline, and we'll have access to the most latest one. So you can keep experimenting with it till the deadline.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Paul, this one's for you, I guess.
Sorry, I had a call. Let me see.
They want to see the code for greater than equals 5. Okay.
Can you remember when you were running? Oh, okay. All right. Here you go. Changing the heading is it's just a hashtag, and then the text.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I already started the coding lab 1 and I turned it in, but I was wondering a specific question. Like, I know there's, when you go to like the help page, it shows the HTML format for coding, and then it shows the Markdown format, which is like the hashtags and stuff like that. Are we, do y'all want, are we going to be graded on like depending whether it's going to be Markdown format or HTML format, or do you just, can we use both of them, or are we strictly supposed to just use Markdown format?
So when you open your coding lab, whenever whatever questions you'll be asked, you'll be supposed to be editing in the code cells and not the Markdown cells. So you're supposed to write Python code in the code cells, where you see hashtag your code goes here, right?
Yeah, but what I was talking about is like there's this, like there's a guide right here, and it says like there's different ways to write the code, and one way is the Markdown way, which is where the dashes are, the asterisks, and like that. So are we supposed to strictly write in that, or are we about?
No, you're supposed to code, you're supposed to write in the code cells, and the Markdown cells are specifically just for like explaining what you're doing. So even if you don't do it, it's fine. You'll be auto-graded mostly for your assignments and stuff, not for labs, but for assignments, you're going to be auto-graded, and we test only the part in the code cells, what code you've given us, and not the Markdown cells.
Yes.
Is that
yeah, but that's not what I'm asking.
all right?
Let me show you.
All right.
So right here, it shows, okay, that's not it. So it gives an example for like ordered lists, and to write down in the code cell, it's Markdown, so you could use like the numbers, or could you also use the HTML?
Okay, I can actually answer that one. So what you have there, that I didn't cover the HTML, but
Yeah.
you could use that as well as in the Markdown. You put it in the Markdown cell, and it works the same way as what was in the column that you showed in the Markdown.
So like we could use it either or, because there's some of them, the explanations for like the Markdown column, that didn't quite make sense to me. So I was just, and like I have previous experience in like HTML, and sometimes like that just makes more sense.
Oh,
so
nice.
if I like ran the code, would it like crash because I'm using HTML rather than like the asterisks?
No, as long as you don't get any error. If there's no error, it should run.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I started the assignment 1, and then on part 2 of the operations, I tried doing the calculations with the variables, but it says there's an error because the int_1 is not defined, but isn't it defined like already for us?
int_1.
Yes.
Use the data type. Paul, can you take her in the breakout room and share her screen?
I'll do that. Who was it again? Sorry. Oh, okay, I'll actually do that right now.
Yeah.
Junke, I'm gonna give you a breakout room.
Okay.
You can share your screen with him, and then he can guide you better. All right?
Oh, okay. Wait. I'm doing the Zoom on a different device.
I think that should be fine.
Yeah. Okay. She's there.
Oh, cool.
I'll do that. Can you take care of that?
Yeah, cool.
Hello.
Hello. I'm Zooming on a different device.
Okay.
But
I think that should be fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I was on part 2 of the operations of the assignment one, and then I tried to code, but
Do you think you can move your camera and
yeah,
show? Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Sorry.
No, it's good. That's the same way as the other person.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see now. As long as you talk, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Oh man, I'm gonna mute.
Can you see? Yeah. Okay.
I'm reading your thing right now. Give me a.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I was thinking about this. Did you run the other cell before this?
Oh no, wait. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have to run it so that it reads it. Okay.
Yeah. Try it.
Okay.
It worked.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. No worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're finished with that.
Yeah.
I think we're almost done, but I'm just gonna show you guys this again, just in case you have follow-up.
The hashtag your code goes here does not necessarily need to be deleted. You can have that or not. It's on you. Doesn't matter.
I have a question. Like it keeps saying syntax errors.
Which can you define that again? Syntax error on what?
I try to, like it says, write like the favorite class, and then I type in with the question above, and then I run it. It says invalid syntax.
Okay, actually, okay, I'm gonna take you to a breakout room really fast. Okay. Can you show me?
Like how to show you?
Share your screen with him.
Just share your screen.
Oh, hey, I think I can also, I can probably answer the questions. Because I also confront this problem because I find that, so in the upper cell, it will say these variables provided for you, but you should still copy and paste into your own cell so that like you have already defined those variables before using them, so that the syntax error should disappear.
Hello?
Hello, could you see that? I'm using a computer, so I'm using iPad for the Zoom.
Okay, yeah, yeah, a lot of people are doing that. Let me so I can see better. I'm gonna mute myself and just continue talking.
Okay.
Are you getting that error like for all of them or only for that cell?
Only for that cell, but I'm still not sure what should we do here. Do we like just adding more cells and?
Oh, I think so. It shows where the syntax error is.
Oh, is it the bracket?
Yeah, it looks like it's the bracket. Oh, I see. So what is it asking you to do? Consider your response in the file. I think what you need to do is just type this in a another cell. Your answer.
Like.
But like
So.
it needs to be in a it needs to be in a not a code cell but a markdown cell.
What is a markdown cell?
Okay. So what you have right now is because you have this like in and then bracket. It's a code cell, but if you go up or actually press escape,
Oh, what?
ESC, and then press M. It's escape first, yeah.
Press M and then what is it?
Delete that first. Sorry. And then press escape. ESC.
Escape?
Yeah, ESC.
ESC.
So sorry. It's a button. It's on your keyboard. ESC. Okay.
Active?
Yeah, and press
Escape?
M. Yeah, press M. M, the letter M. Okay.
Yeah.
And then type in your answer. Actually,
so,
yeah.
Like, oh, is it this one?
Yeah, whichever one is your answer.
So do I have to like do the code too?
No, it's just your answer, like whatever your response is to the answer. So like A or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one is this again? I just want to look into it before I give you like it's question 1, right?
Yeah. It's in the practice. Jupyter. It's on the practice, I think. Assignment 0 practice. Is this
Okay.
what we are doing for this discussion, coding lab?
No, like not the practice actually. You're not gonna turn in the practice. You're just gonna turn in the coding lab 1, and then the assignment 1.
But in the coding lab 1, we only have the tooling. Do we have like to create a new thing to do the coding lab? Because I only see from the coding lab 1, I only see a coding lab 1 tooling.
Yeah, click on that one. It should be that one, yeah. It should just be this one, yeah. It's did you do this one already?
Oh, I don't know where what should I do with this one after I look this? Okay, I'm not sure what should I do with this one.
Part 2?
Yeah, like. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Could you give me a moment? These
Yeah,
people check.
yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Okay, I'm back. So do we like typing codes into this assignment, like adding more cells?
Yeah, what you have to do is just read through this, and then like add in your name, yeah, like that, like what you're on right now. It says name PID. Just type in the information, and it's that's what I can tell you. Like you just have to follow what it shows and what it's telling you. But do you have like specific questions about it?
Just after I look through this, I don't know what it's asking me to do.
Okay, so here I can guide you through it. Let me just let me go back. I'm gonna talk to everyone first because you can actually stay here, and then I'm gonna just let them know though.
So do I need?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, I guess everyone left already.
Okay, so is this one end? Okay.
Yeah,
So,
but I'm gonna stay. I can stay because this one is due to tonight. uh, so
thank
do
you.
you have so for what you have just okay. So for what you have right now, just type in your name and then PID, college, and major.
And
then and then you run it. Okay. Yeah, so that's it for that. And then I think for this, you would. You don't actually have to do anything for this one. You're just reading that one. Yeah. So for the next one, that's pretty much you. You have to do that.
What does it mean by italic?
Okay. Click on it first. Oh, yeah. Click on that one. The one that we were on.
Okay, I click on it.
There you go. So okay, the first one says this sentence is italicized. That's the 1st one, right? Yeah. So where it says that, like the second sentence, what you have to do is change that sentence. So you would like you know that sentence. This sentence is italicized.
Yeah. This sentence.
The other one, the second one. That
This
one,
one.
yeah. So what you would do is at the beginning of it. So there's many ways you could do this. I guess just the easiest way is just put an underscore in the beginning of the sentence and then at the end of it.
Like uh like this one.
Yep. And so that's the yeah. See, so you see that it changed. It changed its font.
Oh, it become bold. Okay.
Yeah. So go back to that one. That was the first thing.
Oh wait. Oh, which one?
That one, yeah. So
Oh, it's italic. Oh, okay.
so that one changed, but then you have to do two more things, I think, or like yeah, three more things.
How to make it bold?
Okay, click on it, and then so the last sentence. So you know how you added one underscore, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's to italicize, and then to bold you do two underscores. But then this one asks you for two bold and italics. Yeah. So you need to put three underscores.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Oh,
then
okay.
yeah, so it's pretty nice. And but then for that one you still have to create a list.
Create a list.
Yeah, click on it again. The third and fourth sentence. Yeah, so for this one, yeah. Do you know how to create bullets?
Bullets. Like a bracket.
It's so I'll just tell you so for this one, you have to put in a dash at the beginning.
Like this one.
No, like a hyphen, like a subtraction. Yeah,
This one.
yeah, and then do that for all of them, all three. But you have to put in a space though. That's why, yeah, like typically when yeah, you have to put a space after the dash.
Oh. And then run it.
Yeah, that should work. Yeah.
Oh, so this is like create a bullet list.
Yeah, it's really I don't know why it would ask you this. But then the next one you have to create a number. It's the same thing, but then you have to create a number.
So should I just put 1, 2, 3 and above them?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I see.
There you go, yeah. So that's that for that.
Okay. I don't know how to code at all. This is the first time I do coding, so
Oh yeah, it's fine.
I don't even know what they are asking sometimes.
Yeah, there's actually on the other class, like I was just like it varies. You're totally fine. Just you can like I'm gonna stay here if you need me to, but do you want this first part is pretty much the only thing you have to do. Everything else, like part two, part three, is just we already did that. But do you know how to do you know how to submit in Data Hub?
I'm not sure. Do we just click on submit?
Yeah, where you got this, you go back to that and then you click on submit. But then make sure you just yeah, that's pretty much it. You just click on submit, yeah.
So I just can close this page and click on the submit, and then I submit this.
Yeah, that's after you complete the rest of part one, save it, and then you're gonna click submit. Yeah.
Where can I save it?
You could go Control S or File Save, or like File Save. There you go, auto save.
Oh, okay. And the only thing we need to do is part 1, and part 2 is just submit it.
Yeah, part 2 you don't do any code. It's just you doing the submitting. And then part 3, did you do part 3?
Oh yeah, I did it yesterday. Anaconda.
Yeah. So you have it downloaded? Yeah.
Yeah, but it gives me a bunch of like files.
Okay. I can show you that. So when you downloaded it, did you see a command prompt?
Command prompt.
Yeah. Let me see. Hold up. Yeah, it should say Anaconda PowerShell prompt.
I only download this thing, and
Click on it.
after, yeah.
Yeah, that should be the one. I did the same thing.
Yeah, and then after I click the next, then it says like I already have like the files, so it's everything I have here. It's
Okay.
lots of things. I don't
It's
know what they.
it's in there. Let me see. I can't see clearly. Can you find the a command? Can you zoom in?
Zoom in.
Yeah. I see clearly what the. Okay. Try scroll down. Keep on scrolling. Try. Oh no, that's not the one.
Did I miss it?
It should be a command prompt. Keep on scrolling. Where did you download this one?
I downloaded through the like link. I just Google Anaconda and then I click on download.
Did you go to anacondadistribution.com/distribution?
I think it's
Yeah,
the
okay.
same.
So you went to that one, okay. And then you went to download, right? Oh, okay, you went
Yeah,
here. Okay.
I went to download this one.
Okay. Uh did you download like click on the top one, the download. It says download. It should be the same.
Okay, I'll try that.
Actually, hold up. Let me just go back to because like what ends up happening is is you're supposed to get a command prompt. Hey, try go back to that again. It must be in a folder. Like to the
These folders.
if it should be in there. Try click the Conda application. Or actually no, click on shell folder.
Shell.
Yeah. No, that's not the one. Try did you try re-downloading it? I want to see what the prompt says.
Let me see. Okay, I'll reinstall it.
Okay, it should be really quick. Oh, right here, right here. Yeah, you don't have any version of right, like PyCharm. You don't have that.
What is a PyCharm?
Okay.
I don't see.
Just click on the second one. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, did you start on I actually figured out the practice.
Did
The,
I?
the one you were doing earlier. I went to it and then so what you have to do for that is it tells you up there after you add it says like, for example, if cogs option A above were my answer, I would replace this with favorite something.
Yeah.
For example, the sentence favorite class equals A. You would just put in favorite class equals A.
Put in. Do I put in directly on this cell
Hold up.
or
You
the cell after?
you put it. You know where you have the code cell, the one, the other cell, the second cell below it. That one, yeah. So you would delete everything and then just put in favorite and then underscore class and then A. That one, yeah. But then you should erase race.
Take like erase it.
Yeah, erase race and then just put in, yeah, erase that. Okay, and then try and then backspace and then just run it again. There you go. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Oh. Oh, what about this one? The little mark here. Do we have to put that, or it's just they are telling us this is a code like we need to enter in?
You just all you have to do is
Like,
just what you did there, and then just that's it. The favorite class equals A.
do I need to run?
And then remove the A and then the next one. Just remove the the 3 hashtags. Yeah.
Remove it?
The cell, yeah. Delete the cell.
Um,
And then the scissors, yeah.
okay.
And then
So that's
yeah, that's it. And then try rerun the whole file. Go to kernel, and then restart and rerun and run all. So kernel, restart, and run all. Yeah, that one. Yep, there's no error. That's it.
oh, this is all we need to do for the assignment.
Yeah, but you don't have to turn this in though.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so try do this, finish, and then click. Yeah, finish. I wanna see what happens. And then
Jumping this.
try I tried to look at mines. Try to go to you know where you said it says type here to search. Type here to type in Anaconda.
Oh, I see on Anaconda.
3.
Is this what we? Yeah.
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah, just click on that. That's that one. I guess it's hard to find. That's what I did. I forgot to show that.
Okay.
Okay, so anyways, so you have this, right? And then you know that you have to copy the file. Try to go to Jupyter.org installation. Or install.
Is it this notebook?
Yeah, scroll down. Or no, try go up. It's not in here, I think. Try go to jupyter.org/install. Yeah, this one. Scroll down. Yeah, actually click on that one. Click on install Jupyter Notebook or Notebook.
This one is like Jupyter Lab 1.0, and this one is Jupyter Notebook.
Yeah, click on that. Install the notebook. Yeah. Okay, scroll down. Actually, yeah. Scroll down, and then when it says notebook, go up more. Yeah, right there. So it says Jupyter Notebook, right? Getting started with the classic Jupyter Notebook. Scrolled. This one is the lab. That's why. Try and go to Jupyter Notebook. That one,
Where
yeah.
is it?
It's the second one right there. So you know where it says Conda install -C, Conda dash forge. Yeah, that one. Copy that into the command prompt.
Is it here?
Yeah, paste it.
I couldn't paste it. What's the command for paste? Control C is copy. What is Control P?
Control V. I think it's oh, and no, Control P. Yeah, Control P. Did it work? I think what I did was I just typed it.
Yeah, I couldn't copy anything here.
Yeah, just type it.
Conda install. Conda. Forge notebook. Okay, I have typed in Conda install -C Conda Forge notebook.
Okay. Does it have the dash at the forge? The Conda dash forge, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I know, like on mine it allows me.
Wait.
Huh?
Why it doesn't allow me to add things in between?
It's really weird, yeah. But it was frustrating for me too.
So it just every time I need to retype that.
It's stupid. Yeah.
I think this time I get it right.
Yeah, I think that's good. Try press enter. There you go. There you go. That's what. So it should install it, and then just wait until it's done.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, so once this is done, you have to go back. It's not really that long, but you have to click this command prompt again, and then you have to type in Jupyter Notebook. Is it done?
So all I need to do is just waiting it to be downloaded.
Yeah, I think it's done. Try go
It's
to
done.
yeah. Try type in Jupyter Notebook. Yeah, does it have a space?
Do I have to make a space in the front, like before the J?
Not before the J. It's just it's just Jupyter and then space
Between
notebook.
the Jupyter.
Yeah. And then try press enter. What did it say? Oh, there you go. Yeah, click on whichever
How
one.
do you,
So what ends up happening is it asks you which browser you're gonna open Jupyter Notebook in. I guess go on your main browser, Google Chrome or whichever one. And then so here we go. So this is it. You're pretty much done downloading this. You're gonna use this later on.
like copy the notes here?
Yeah. So what you just did is you have a local copy now. So this is running Jupyter Notebook in your computer. And
Also,
yeah.
so when I will open the Jupyter Notebook, it will go to this website.
Yeah.
Like when I'm trying to open it in Canva.
Yeah, but the thing to remember is it only does that. You have to keep on typing Jupyter Notebook in the Anaconda 3. So you know how you had to type.
I need to. Oh.
Yeah.
So I need to type Jupyter Notebook here.
Yeah, you could actually exit out of this now. You could I'll show you that. X out of the command prompt. Like close this, the command prompt. Okay, and then close the browser with the Jupyter Notebook. Yeah, close this one. Okay, so you know how like every time you restart your computer and then you want to use Anaconda, right? Or the Jupyter Notebook of Anaconda.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to look for that again. The Anaconda 3. Yeah. That one, yeah. And then now it's blank, right? So and then so you just type in Jupyter Notebook, and then that's how you access it. And yep, there you go. You have to continue. You have to keep on doing that every time you restart.
Oh.
Yeah, but you don't have to like do this for your assignments now. The professor's gonna tell you for your project that you're gonna do it this way.
All right. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Okay, so you're good, right? With the assignment 1.
Assignment 1.
Yeah, that's for later on though.
Maybe.
Yeah, I covered like a lot of this today. You pretty much just follow what it says. Oh yeah, the one thing is you have to delete the comment and then the raise, the raise command line. Just delete that one, and then and then your code, you delete it, and then you put in your code there.
So I delay this part, your code here, and then
Yeah.
I put in my code.
Yeah. So you every time you see hashtag your code here, you delete that, and then there's some of them that says raise, like raise to, like if you scroll down. This is a question that yeah, like that one. So it has your code here, right? And then raise. You delete both your code and then raise, and then not implemented error. You delete both of those.
So I delete both of this.
Yeah, you delete those two, and then you just follow what it says. Type in your code, whatever it says up top.
Oh, okay. And
Yep.
how about this one? Do I need to delete this one? Okay, so everything in the bracket to delete. They are just like there for the guide, not for the coding.
Yeah, the first line, like create the variables, you don't have to delete that. It doesn't matter. You could delete it or you could leave it. Just leave it because it's there. The only thing you have to delete is your code here and then raise not implemented error. And then you can start pretty much. And then for the rest of these, like you're only writing your code where it says your code here. All the other cells, don't delete anything. Leave them be. And then after you're done, just rerun, like restart, run all. And then if there's any errors, just ask either one of us, Ashlisha or I, and then or post your question on, or you can email us, or you can post your question on Piazza. Okay.
Do I so I can post my question on Piazza? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Post it privately instead of, okay.
Yeah. If you have other questions, you have my email, right?
Maybe is it in the syllabus or in the coding?
It's
in
here.
Canvas?
I'll just show you. I just typed it in. It's not in there. So just email me or go to Piazza.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank
Good luck.
you.
Good luck.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, you'll do
Thank
fine.
you.
All right.